emotions, issues, financial relationships. Because I have plenty of issues, you know. Being human just gives us ripe with issues. And everything we do today, energy psychology is in the top 10% of evidence-based therapy, but it's going to be very new to some of you. And it's going to look woo-woo. But it's not, it's just woo. And if you know anything about Chinese philosophy, woo is the universe, basically, and above and beyond. So it is woo, just not woo-woo, okay? We are recording this presentation. If you have significant concerns about that, you can do like what I've learned from my daughter to do when you're driving past a red light with a camera. Duck, and you won't be caught. Okay. Who am I? Thank you for the introduction, Dr. Durrell. I'm going to say my name. My name is Sarette, like you say, Sarette Zecharia. And a little bit about me. I actually have 2 PhDs in clinical psychology. After the first one, I was leaving the field. I was very unimpressed with psychiatry, medication, how people in inpatient units were being treated, and I decided I was going to go into mythology. At that time, I was also working at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in California, and a colleague of mine said, why don't you check out the school Pacifica Graduate Institute? I'm like, what's that? He's like, I'm not telling you, that's your journey. Long story short, no internet there, did check them out. That's where I ended up getting my second PhD from. Very Jungian based, it's in the Fleischmann summer mansion overlooking the Channel Islands. They grow their own food. We have all Marie von Neufrance's books there. James Hillman was actually a professor of mine. We have all Jung's work. So I stayed in the field. I have always been on the outside of what is considered traditional psychology. It may have to do with my upbringing. I don't think I even have a typical South African upbringing. I've always been steeped in energy. I give you an example. My mother, I'm a great fan of telling people no one can read minds, but this doesn't apply to my mom. I would go, Ma, and she would be in the corner on the right, and I'd say, thank you. Then I'd be sitting there, I'd go, and she'd say, it's behind you. I'm like, thank you. I remember sitting down with her one day when I was a little older, and she said, Sarette, we need to have a serious conversation. You actually have to use your words. You don't want people to think we're crazy. So that's kind of a little bit of how I grew up. I grew up in a country with so many different cultures. And I guess you can say I was one of the naughty ones who didn't keep to myself. I was everywhere where I wasn't supposed to be. Learning from witch doctors, joining in tribal dancing, and enjoying food because I love food, especially good food. So my upbringing is very, very different. So that being said, I became an Iyengar Hatha yoga instructor when I was 18. I had the pleasure of learning with Mr. Iyengar himself, who was in his 90s at that time, and picked himself up on his baby finger. I had never been able to do that. And I do not believe I ever will, but what a feat to see. And then I decided yoga just didn't do it, and I discovered Chinese medicine. So I am not trained as a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, but I have been doing and studying it for over 25 years. So I have a little bit of knowledge. Never enough, but a little bit. So through that I got into Tai Chi and Qigong. I am a Qigong instructor, and actually a medical Qigong instructor. So I bring that into my therapy as well. If you know a little bit about traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, you know that movement and food is important. So I just had to study nutrition in connection to food with mood and pain. And I'm an integrative pain and energy psychologist. So I work with a lot of pain patients. And I'm an Ayurveda practitioner. And it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's all the same thing. Traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine are connected very much so. So the reason why I tell you all of this, and I love to dance, I love water, I love to eat, I love to play, I believe in balance. So if you're going to work 100%, you have to play 100%. If you're going to work 50%, what percentage do you play? 100. Never changes. But it's good to keep the work and the play balanced together. So that's a little bit about me. As Dr. Burrell said, I am one of 4 trainers internationally for CEP, which is Comprehensive Energy Psychology. And I do sit on the board of the Association for Comprehensive Energy Psychology. And I am a little biased. So you have fair warning. And you're okay to question me. And I get very excited because of the things I've seen while doing this for the last 25 years. And the fun thing about doing energy psychology is that when we have our patients do things, we treat ourselves at the same time. So you can go through an entire day and be just as fresh as you were in the morning. Doesn't that sound amazing? It's just a thought.